What's up guys, FlamingVictini here and I'm back for another SPL analysis video. Today I'm going to be looking at my week 3 game versus Gingy. Now looking at the team matchup, it's sort of interesting. I'm both feeling pretty comfortable but also feeling slightly scared. Now the reason for that is his Zygarde. So in the past I have used Sub, Coil, DD, a Guaveberry Zygarde, and that Zygarde is capable of using Tapu Bulu as setup fodder, capable of using Mola as setup fodder, can easily beat down Lando if it's weakened or lacks HP Ice, and Kartana needs a lot going for it to be able to revenge it, even though it has Sacred Sword to get past coil boosts. But otherwise, I feel very confident about being able to wall his entire team. Now, obviously, I'm using a very bulky team with Mega Sableye. Mega Sableye is going to help me a lot with stopping his rocks for a good amount of time. He is basically going to have to go for an SD Lando or a U-turn chipping to get past Sableye. He's going to have to get, and my grassy terrain and all that stuff. His Celesteela can't do anything, as Amoonguss shouldn't be able to break anything with Heatran and Sableye. And his Lopunny should be beaten by my Mola, his Tapu Koko beaten by my Bulu, by Lando, my Heatran can put a lot of pressure on him. So overall I'm feeling very, very good, except for the possibility of sub-coil Zygarde. So that's what I'm mostly worried about. I feel like if it's any other set, then my Mola plus Tapu Bulu plus Kartana plus Lando can easily beat it. I'm only really worried about sub-coil. So basically, I'm going to try to play around trying to figure out his Zygarde set as quickly as I can. I'm going to try to keep my Lando very, very healthy, because that's my best answer to Subcoil Zygarde, because it is SD. Now, I'm going to lead with Mega Sableye and just go straight for the Protect Mega Evolve so I can get the Magic Bounce, and he goes for a Volt Switch. Now, I know there's a possibility that this Tapu Koko is Farium Dazzling Gleam, and that's the only move that'll OHKO my Sableye. If it is Choice Specs, he's locked into Volt Switch, I can easily recover off that damage and be back to full or near full. So I decide to stay in, and he reveals he is not Choice Locked and goes for the Dazzling Gleam. That does 50%, so I'm able to heal myself back up. And I'm just going to pull a hard switch to Bulu. I don't want to risk another. Now that he's shown Dazzling Gleam, I sort of expect this to be, now that he's shown Dazzling Gleam and that he's not Choice Locked, I fully expect this to be a Farium Tapu Koko. So I'm just going to pull a switch to my Tapu Bulu, and he switches out his Tapu Koko into his Amoonguss as I just go for Nature's Madness to get some chip on that. Now, I don't know what set this Amoonguss is yet, so I don't really want to go into my Heatran and eat a Spore, since Heatran's my main form of breaking. Otherwise, all I'm basically doing is walling his team, since he has a Celesteela for my Lando and for my Kartana. So I'm going to pull a switch into my Sableye, and he gets the Sludge Bomb Poison right away. Now this is really annoying because the Sludge Bomb Poison really wears down Sableye very, very fast. It's basically an Oras burn, and it really wears you down very, very quickly. And to add salt to the wound from getting that immediate Sludge Bomb Poison, because of course if I figured out his set later, I would have, which is Sporeless, it's AV, I would have been able to start going to Heatran and not have to risk my Sableye. I go for the Will-O-Wisp so I can start chipping down this Koko, and so I can win in the long run, because he doesn't have any Wisp switching, so I want to be able to Wisp his whole team, or Toxic his team, and slowly wear it down as I wall it. But I missed the Wisp too, and as you can see, this Poison's really, really hurting, especially when he removes the terrain. I tried to predict a Volt Switch there, go for the recover, but he just Dazzling Gleams, and now that Poison is just making it way harder for me. I'm at 56 already. I switch into Tapu Bulu, he goes into his Amoonguss, and now another problem's arising. This Amoonguss gets Grassy Terrain boosted Giga Drain, and my Sableye is slow and weakened, so like, a horrible situation all around. I decide I have to go to Heatran at this point. He decides to pull a double to Zygarde. I'm not really sure why. I'm going to pull a hard switch into Lando as he switches out his Zygarde. Now, the way he didn't try to go in with Zygarde after getting it in on Heatran makes me think it's Choice Banded, because Choice Banded is just walled by Mola, and going to Tapu Koko is basically predicting Mola. That's the only real mon he has to really put the pressure on it, other than Amoonguss fishing for Sludge Bomb Poisons. I of course went to my Lando, but I still don't want to risk taking a Twinkle Tackle to the face. It would not kill me and I could EQ and KO the Tapu Koko, but it's just a lot of damage, and when most of his breakers are physical, I didn't feel like there was any point in doing that, because as you see, he does go for the Twinkle Tackle, does 47 to my Bulu, but now this Coco basically shouldn't be able to break me any further. I'm going to go for the Nature's Madness on the Gust, get some nice damage on it. Of course, with Regenerate can switch out. He goes for the Sludge Bomb, and this is where I mess up. So I did not notice the lack of black sludge on this Amoonguss. So that indicates to me that it must be AV. And I knew that AV Amoonguss runs Stomping Tantrum. Now, Stomping Tantrum is base 75 power, not affected by grassy terrain. And to most Heatrans, it basically does 50% damage. But if Stomping Tantrum basically doubles in power if your previous attack fails. And with that failing, with the Sludge Bomb not affecting my Heatran, it should OHKO my Heatran. Now, I'm going to blame this on Miltank Milk, because this was pretty early before Stomping Tantrum Amoonguss got popular, or more popular, but I didn't really know the mechanics of Stomping Tantrum, and Miltank Milk had told me that it only doubles in power if the game specifically says the move failed, which is and he said it's a very specific prompt and it doesn't happen often. So I thought, oh, not affecting me doesn't double Stomping Tantrum, so I'm perfectly fine to go straight for a Magma Storm. And if he goes for Stomping Tantrum, it won't KO me, and I can KO the Amoonguss. Turns out, I was wrong. I go for the Magma Storm, I miss. I wouldn't have been able to KO this Amoonguss anyway, so I don't think the miss mattered much, and he just takes me straight out with Stomping Tantrum. And, oh yeah. I had Substitute, so I could have gone for Substitute because of the grassy terrain. I would have been back up at 88, and then after that he wouldn't be able to stay in because Stomping Tantrum wouldn't double in power, so all I did was hit 2 Magma Storms, his Amoonguss was dead. So I definitely should have gone for the Substitute right there, but yeah, so that's going to be really, really bad for me. Losing Heatran means I lose my main way of breaking, but on the bright side, I'm still very confident that I can wall his whole entire team. I just have to be a lot more careful with that Amoonguss, and I really need to keep my Sableye very, very healthy, and I need to play very accurately with it, because if he keeps on predicting double switches and keeps using toxic damage to wear down my Sableye to the point where I don't have a switch into Amoonguss, or that I can't bring in my Tapu Lulu because I can't give the Amoonguss grassy terrain, that's basically my main concern. So I'm gonna get up rocks. He's gonna go to Celesteela and start fishing for Flamethrower burns right away with the Flamethrower. I'm just gonna set up a Wish because I want to heal up my Sableye. I think right here I could have gone for a Toxic predicting that Tapu Koko, and that would have been pretty good, but I decided, you know what, just get my Sableye healthy. I need it healthy. And again, Poison showing how annoying it is that I'll never get above 88%, which is quite annoying. I'm gonna go to my Tapu Bulu as he shows the Defog. I actually forgot that Tapu Koko had access to Defog and I hadn't considered it, so this is a new challenge. I really need to get this Koko out so I can get my rocks up. I'm expecting a Volt Switch or a Hard Switch to Amoonguss right here, so I just go to my Lando. Grassy Terrain is up, so once again I don't want to stay in, as he goes for the Dazzling Gleam, so basically all I'm doing is wasting grassy terrain turns. And I'm just sort of struggling here because I just had my Heatran taken out. I just lost my rocks, and my Sableye is poisoned. I can't keep it that healthy, and if I have to recover every single turn, I don't have the time to click Will-O-Wisp and get the chip damage on his mods that I need. So overall, I'm feeling very, very low about my current position right now. So I'm gonna go for a Wisp, and I miss the Koko. I'm like, I think to myself, okay, I can afford my Sableye being at 44. I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp, I'm gonna hit the Koko, and I'm gonna finally start making progress. And I miss it again. This is the second time I missed Will-O-Wisp versus his Koko. So things are looking down. So I'm gonna go to my Tapu Bulu. He goes for the Dazzling Gleam, and as you can see, I'm almost dead. I have to go for the Horn Leech so I can heal back enough to be able to switch into this Koko, but even then, I'm at 27 after this, so Koko's looking like it's also going to be a really huge threat, and overall, I'm just not feeling very good about the situation. So I want to pull a switch to Kartana, expecting the Giga Drain, and then I'm going to pull a switch to my Lando, trying to pivot on the HP Fire, as he does indeed go for the HP Fire. I basically just wanted to avoid a Sledge Bomb Poison on my Lando, or a Grassy Terrain boosted Giga Drain. He actually decides to stay in and go for the Giga Drain. I don't really agree with this, because my Lando could have... Well, I guess he doesn't know that I'm Supersonic Sky Strike, and I guess it's unlikely that I'll go for it right away, but I still think it's a bit risky to go for it. Regardless, he gets the Giga Drain damage off. I'm going to predict a Celesteela right here, pull a switch to my Mola, and I'm going to fish for the burn on the Steela. As I get it right away, one of the few things that goes my way this game. He goes for the Flamethrower, fishing for the burn, doesn't get it. And I'm going to go for a Wish as he goes to his Tapu Koko. Because I've already consumed his Twinkle Tackle, he shouldn't have anything to Oko my Lando. So I'm just going to pull a switch to my Lando. I am expecting it to, since he's shown Volt Switch and Dazzling Gleam, I expect T-Bolt Defog as his last moves. Well, he's already shown Defog, so I don't expect HP Ice. I can just Wish up my Lando and set Rocks back up again. And this way I'm just slowly chipping down his team. He goes to Celesteela. I'm just going to go back to my Alamomola. Because I have a full-length Lando, I'm less concerned about the Tapu Koko. He just fishes for more Flamethrower burns. I'm going to go for another Wish as he goes back to Koko. And this is another chance to finally bring my Tapu Bulu, which is so weakened at 27, all the way back to full. So now I'm feeling much more comfortable about being able to wall his team. I just need to find a way to be able to break it. So I'm going to go for another Nature's Madness on the Amoonguss. I mean, I can't really do much else because, I mean, I could have hard switched to Lando, I guess, but he goes for the Sledge Bomb, fishing for the poison. Thankfully, he does not get it. I think I just go for Rocks again as he goes for another Grassy Terrain boosted Giga Drain, not fearing the Sky Strike, which I do have. I'm going to pull a switch to Alamomola as he goes for another Giga Drain. Now, I really disagree with that one. I think he was just playing with fire, but I understand his play. So I just think it wasn't worth the risk. I'm going to go for the Wish since the Grassy Terrain ended. I really want to get my Mola out of this. If my Mola gets poisoned too, it's going to be really, really bad. So I'm going to go for a Protect because, yeah, I need to heal my Mola back up. As he goes for another Sludge Bomb, I have to risk one more Wish so I can get my Sableye in safely, and thankfully he does not poison me on that second one, so I'm able to bring in my Sableye. And things are looking better. So again, I'm down to 88. He's going to U-turn. I know he's probably going to go to Koko, but I wanted to keep my Sableye healthy to switch into that Gus. So I'm going to go for the Recover, because once again, as you saw, if I have to use Lando or Mola to deal with Amoonguss, I'm just risking more Sludge Bomb poisons. So he's going to go to Tapu Koko for the Defog. I think my Lando's at 50, so that's why I didn't want to go hard into Lando. So I go into Kartana to scare it out, and go into my Amoonguss as he goes to Lando. Now, I did not expect this Lando, but I don't want to go hard Sableye on U-turn, poison, and stuff. So he makes a very good play, predicts that, and goes straight for the Stealth Rocks. I'm just going to go for the Toxic so that I have a timer on this Lando once again, so I'm slowly winning as I wall his team, because otherwise if I don't status him, I'm just not going to gain anything. He actually goes to his Celesteela on my Alamomola. Flamethrower's fishing for a burn. I'm going to get that Big Wish back up, and I'm going to get my Rocks back up. And this is basically just a very long stally sequence, as you guys can tell. But yeah, this is what happens when I don't pay attention and sack my Heatran and then miss a bunch of Will-O-Wisps and stuff. He finally gets the Flamethrower burn on my Mola. Can't say I'm too happy about that. I think he's only gone for like 3 or 4 on my Alamomola, so already getting the Flamethrower burn is a little bit lucky, but happens. So the Flamethrower burn is annoying because it basically means my leftovers are gone, which also limits the viability of my Protect, being able to help me switch into Lopunny and Zygarde. And since Rocks are up, I need to get those defogged off eventually, so because otherwise his Lopunny and his Choice Band and Zygarde are probably going to be able to overwhelm me. I end up being able to pull a switch into my Lando on this Gus, wish it right back up to full health as he tries to break to my Kartana. I'm not really sure why. And this I don't understand. I switch out my Lando to Alamomola, expecting Celesteela. I think I'm just trying to push for wearing down the Celesteela, getting that removed, so that my own Lando can start breaking his team, because that's the main thing. Because with the Toxic on his Lando, that's basically his Lando is going to get worn down fast. If I can remove his Celesteela, my own Lando is going to start breaking Gingy's team very, very quickly. So I'm just trying to put as much pressure as I can on that Celesteela, like switch to Sableye on Leech Seed would be amazing. things like that. Just PP stalling late seed. As he pulls the switch to Zygarde. Now, once again, I expect Choice Band just because of how he played it earlier. That's the reason I go for the Toxic, and he reveals the Choice Band. This is like finally like the moment of truth where I get to know, is this thing Choice Banded or Subcoil Berry? And it's Choice Banded, so that's much better. He's doing 41 with 1,000 arrows. I really don't want to risk a crit, or yeah, I basically just don't want to risk a crit. So I'm going to pull switch to Tapu Bulu because I do have this full health Bulu sitting. Of course, it is going to give this Amoonguss the grassy terrain, so that's the downside. I'm going to go for the Nature's Madness and pull a switch to my Sableye. My Sableye is healthy enough that I can switch into this grassy terrain boost Giga Drain. So I was okay with going into Bulu. As he pulls the switch to Lopunny, and this is where I make my prediction. Because my Alamomola got hit by the 1,000 arrows and I decided to switch out instead of wishing, I don't have a switch into his Lopunny. So I make the aggressive read. I'm going to predict his Lopunny, I'm going to burn it, and then I'm going to be able to go to Mola and be able to wish back on my Sableye. And I get the prediction. I burned the Lopunny. And now the game is looking very, very winnable for me. I say actually, you guys can't see the chat, but I say thank you for finally hitting that Will-O-Wisp on what really crucial mon. He pulls a nice switch to Coco right here, trying to keep pressure up on my Mola, and he pulls the Dazzling Gleam on my Lando. Once again, a nice play, but I'm going to live another one, and he chooses to go for a Volt Switch. I'm not really sure why. I decide I want this Coco gone, and I'm going to EQ as I take it out, so that works perfectly. He's going to go Zygarde. I think my Mola, because I regenerated my Mola's back to full, I can go to my Mola. He crits me though. If he didn't crit me, I should have been able to wish up. But since he crit me, I'm just going to have to pull the switch to Bulu, as he actually goes for the Amoonguss. I protect because I want to avoid going to Tapu Bulu and giving him the Grassy Terrain boost. The Amoonguss was a really nice play on his part because it puts a lot of pressure on me. And I decide that it's time to get rid of rocks and sack my Kartana. So I go for the Defog. I really want to remove the pressure that's on my Mola and my Sableye so I can heal him up. And he actually double Giga Drains, and then he times out. So he was having connection problems throughout the whole game, and I was asking to have the timer turned off every time. And Gingy was actually like playing, and his timer went from 30 to 5 seconds, and then he disconnected at 5 seconds. And at that point, there's nothing I can do. Even when I said the timer should go off, because I didn't really care about winning this game as a timer, so since we'd already lost the week, I just wanted to have a fun game versus my bro Gingy. But with only 5 seconds left, they couldn't turn the timer off, so I ended up having to I basically was forced to take a DC win in that situation. But I think I had very good chances of winning this game after Toxicking the Zygarde, burning the Lopunny, Toxicking the Lando, and burning the Celesteela. All I really need to do is win with Sableye at this point, because Sableye is what's going to be beating the Amoonguss. Sableye or Landorus. Actually, Gingy did tell me later on in the game that his Lopunny had Heal Bell, and that would have made the game much harder. I think he would have been able to win that game if he played it very well. So yeah. So I think just the biggest mistake on my end was losing that Heatran. That was a really game-changing moment. And a really good tech from Gingy worked out really well, whereas my lack of knowledge about stopping Tantrum led me to make a mistake that really put me back very far in this game. But regardless, it was a pretty good game overall. Alamomola carried the team on his back with his big wishes. And yeah, that's the game, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.